If you have any questions, just call in this lady right here. She seems really sweet. She'll help you.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of LJ's Garage. Today we'll be doing an install of the Mangoal Dash Cam on the Ford F-150 Raptor. And it's unfortunately my first mod, but I think one of the most important. And since I know what you guys are here for, before I waste your time with the install, I'm going to show you guys some low light, some daylight, and a little bit of the footage so you guys can get a feel for what it is before you watch the rest of the video. So what you're seeing in the background is just going to be normal daytime footage, 4K resolution. It's enough to make out the cars, where things are, who walked in front of who jumped behind who, all of that good stuff. This one does have the rear camera, which I'll show you guys just a second. So now we swapped over to the rear camera, and because of the truck bed, it's kind of a goofy angle, but you can always reposition this if you so chose. In Florida, we don't have front license plates, so it doesn't really provide a whole lot, but at least, you know, if you're rear-ended or something like that, you can see if someone's texting and driving, the important stuff. And then the other thing I want to point out on this is that it does record audio. I'm going to stop talking for a second, but I forgot my music was playing, so ignore some of the audio. One thing that I really appreciate in the clarity of the camera is just being able to read and make out license plates. Some of the other ones struggle with that, and so I give the Mangoal camera a pretty solid rating overall for being able to provide that. So just in case there's a hit and run, you can at least make out, for the most part, I'd say a good 85 to 90% of the license plates that you come across. You know, that's just my rating. Now we're swapping over to the rear, and during nighttime conditions, it isn't amazing, but again, if you're just looking for something to capture, hey, this person ran into me, I slammed my brakes and they weren't paying attention because they were on their phone, this will do that. And then this is the front camera during nighttime, a lot better at just overall handling the lights. And then I'll show you guys what it looks like when you pull up to a car. So the other thing to note is that you can play around with the exposure on this, and that might help some of the low light settings. Same with the daytime if the sun's right on you. But I've never really bothered with that on any of my dash cams, because if someone does something crazy or they, you know, hop out their car and they swing a baseball bat at me, I just wanted to be able to capture those things. It's tough with the license plates at the nighttime. Just something to keep in mind, I guess. I've got this on the M3, a big fan, and so it makes sense to do this for the Raptor. All right, pretty straightforward. I like the all white. It's kind of like, reminds me of Apple packaging, and even though I'm not the biggest Apple fanatic, I appreciate that Apple does really good packaging. Instructions for the app. Got your user manual with some zip ties and some quality assurance thingies. I have plenty of these, but I'm always glad whenever companies send you an SD card included, so you can just plug and play and go right on your way. You've got this little cable, which is the one that hijacks power from the rear view mirror. And then you've got your little plastic pry bar, crowbar, whatever you want to call it. Honestly, this should be all that you really need. All right, and then in my hand right here, I've got the dash cam itself. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this one up. Really good quality. Here's the wiring. Everything looks literally OEM. You can't even really tell that this isn't what was originally on the car to begin with. I like that. I'm gonna set this right back here though. Need it for a little bit. And of course, I'm a firm believer in having the rear camera as well, because the front camera is only half the story sometimes. So I've got the rear camera, and I'll have to figure out how to route that. But straightforward, right? But really easy setup, really easy to use. Just to give you guys some features on this one, it's got the built-in Wi-Fi, so that's how you connect to the app. It's got the G sensor for parking mode, so if someone hits you while parked, easy enough to start recording. It's got a fancy processor, I believe, uses a Sony sensor, so nice quality. 4K Ultra HD, 4K camera, 30 FPS, 150 degree wide angle viewing camera angle. And then it's got a loop cycle with split mode recording, and then you can have up to a 256 gig SD card. It's a little dark in here, but I'm going to try my best to get you guys the best angles that you possibly can have. So for this first part, what we're going to do is, if you tilt this down just a little bit, you guys can see right up here, there's this little plastic piece, this little cover. You're going to take your little pry bar, and you're going to get up in here. You're just going to wiggle this down,
right up in here. Wiggle this side down a little bit too. Give it a little oomph, not too much though, just a little oomph. And then this should unhook. Right. And then now you've got this piece off. So step one, done. I'm just gonna set this off to the side. And here's another angle of this. So it's just this piece right here you're gonna pull in and it pops right out, slides right out. So for the next part, what you're gonna do is, it's kind of tough to film, but there's these two tabs. You're gonna release them on both sides. So you press it out towards the outside of the car. And you do that on both sides. So if you come around this side, you just are kind of unpinching it. So you push it towards the outside. So it's gonna be kind of hard to see, but what I'm doing is, again, just pinching from both sides out and releasing these tabs. So if you guys can see from here, you got this clip right here and this little clip right there, or these little anchors. So what I'm doing is I'm stretching them out to the outside and then they release. And so you just got to put a little force on it, open it wide, you know, and then when you put them back on, it clips on this way, so you go the opposite. Hopefully that makes sense. So one of the big things that I always say on my integrated dash cam videos is I'd love being able to just make this subtle. So you can see, same form factor and everything, other than just adding this little camera down at the bottom, which is pretty sleek. So before we move on to the next part, one thing you'll notice is that this guy has these little rubber guys, these little shock absorber thingies. So these come off of here, and we have to transfer them over to the new one. And then for this next part, what we're going to do is there's going to be one connector right up here. You see that at the top. So you're going to have 3 cables coming out. You're going to ignore this one to the right. You're going to ignore this one to the left. You're going to go for the one in the middle, and you're just going to pinch this little plug. It's hard to get this filmed without blocking you guys. Then you're going to get your Y connector, looks like this. And so this is going to go into one side like that. This goes back into the rain sensors and all those other fancy things back there. So let's see if we can get this in there. Again, sorry about this terrible angle. This is the best that I can do, honestly. Maybe get some meta glasses or something. And make sure you guys hear that click. You want to hear them audible clicks. It's fairly foolproof, but just look out for the color of the connectors and check the user manual. But this plugs right in, and now these are all set. This does have the optional GPS on there, so we're not going to use this. And then on top of that, this is for the rear camera. So got to figure out how I'm going to route that and all that. So I'm going to actually pause here, let this chill. Actually, I'm going to disconnect this so it doesn't hang. And let's figure out the routing for the rear camera. All right, so for the rear view camera, what I did is I got this one pushed over here, and then I'm gonna tuck it up underneath here, and all I did was just press it up under the headliner, and I walked it around, and then tucked it into here, so you guys can see it sticking a little bit. I'm gonna push the pry bar in. Actually, I might be able to just get my finger there. Tuck that in, and I'm just gonna walk this all the way through the weather stripping, all the way around, and then I'll get back there. I know some people have brought up airbags and things like that, so I mean, if you're really concerned, you can just run it all the way down and around. So then on the back, what I did, I went through the weather stripping all the way down since there's a lot of excess. And then if you come over here, you can just pry this panel up and actually store a lot of the excess down in here. And this just clips in, so this is easy. Put lots of space in here. I left a little bit of extra right now until I get this all positioned where I want it. And then I'll probably mount that, feed the extra back in here, and tuck it all in that little compartment. So I could have done it a different way, or if you wanted to route it, you could have gone around the doors and everything like that. But this way, it's nice and clean. And just remember, the window opens that way. So make sure that you don't put your camera on that window unless you wanted to leave the extra hanging. You could do that, or just put it on this side like I'm about to do. All right, so now that I've got the rear camera set up right there, I'm gonna go ahead and plug in this rear camera like so. Click. And then I'm gonna push this around this back end. Then we're gonna take this connector. We don't need the one for the GPS, but we're gonna go ahead and plug in the one for the main camera. And do that, click. So now this piece, all this does is just snap right in place. Right, like, just very similar to the other one. And then they might just have to press up a little to get this to lock in. So you guys can see it snapped in right where the old one was. And then we just got a mess of cords that we've got to straighten out now. So we're going to tuck the ones that we can down into that housing, and then we're going to have to make some space for this rear camera and all of that, and I'll show you guys what that looks like. All right, so I got these wires tucked in there, back there, and then the rear one pushed up just a little bit in here, and then routed all the way around here. So this is nice and clean. And then we're going to go ahead, and once you feel happy with that, we're going to go ahead and push this in. What I like to do is right about at this point, I'll get the app connected and then check out the rear view before I finish anything up, make sure all the previews look good and everything is working right before I go any further. All right, so you guys can see I got the app connected now, so I can go into this and look at that view. Solid right there, so we know that front one's working. I'm gonna go ahead and swap to the rear view. Now that's definitely ugly. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play around with this, figure out where the rear camera is gonna show, make sure the orientation's right, and then I'm gonna go ahead and finalize the placement, and I'll show you what I do. All right, so what I've done is now I check the rear, make sure that's where I want it to be. Looks good. Lesson learned though is realistically, I wanted to avoid putting it here because of this mirror moving. But what I should have done is routed it from this side, came across the top, and then landed up here. Just because the orientation of this, it's like inverted, so it has to be facing that way, whatever. But anyways, I'm sticking with this, and I went ahead and pushed these wires up in here, came around, came up to here, come all the way around. And then, like I said, all the excess meets right here. I'm gonna go ahead and nicely place this in here, and then just put this right back on top, and it'll be like new. For this next part, it's gonna be a little bit of finessing and moving the mirror around, so you guys aren't really gonna get a good angle, but you wanna get this back piece in first, and then just watch out for any of the cords, and then kind of tuck them in as you push this into its place, and it'll kind of make sense. Let's snap. May not fit on perfectly, and it should though. All right, so I've got everything snugged up. There's a little bit of a gap right here, and that's because one of the cords is hitting. I didn't feel like fighting with that much more, but everything is snug, no wiggles, nothing like that. This is locked into place, so if this starts rattling, I'll pull this apart and do it again. But again, integrated dash cam, it's up there. You really can't tell. So let's go ahead and start it up. Uses the little Wi-Fi, easy swap for live view. You can even go to the files, so you hit camera file. You can see all the recordings that it has. It loads those up, all pretty fast. You could take little snapshots. You even got parking mode, which I don't have enabled. But this is all the looping mode, and it's just been recording every few minutes. It's got the audio thing, so you guys might hear it say start recording. So I'm going to go to camera settings and just mess with a couple things. Sound recording, you can turn that on and off from here, which I like. I don't usually keep the sound on these because it really only records the sound inside the car unless there's something crazy loud that's like outside. But I'll do a couple shots of the interior and the exterior with the audio. Speaker volume, photo resolution, if you want to kind of conserve, you can turn this down a little bit. I'm going to keep it at 12 megapixels. Video resolution, 4K, I'm going to leave it at that. Loop recording, it's set for a minute at a time, so which is nice. It makes the files a little bit easier. Exposure, you can go ahead and adjust that. Collision sensing, I don't have that on. And there's all these different ones, but you can set this however you want. Pretty easy to use. I mean, it's a straightforward app, and if you don't like to use the app, just pull your SD card and then, easy as that. But good app and no complaints. Again, swapping is really easy. Live view, bam, bam.
And if you don't feel like going to their website, don't worry, I left all the links down below, and you can find them on Amazon. Makes it nice and convenient if you're like me and enjoy that 2-day delivery. Oh yeah. That's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, be sure to drop them in the comments section down below. And if you're new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button. But that's all I had for you guys on the Mangoal Dash Cam. So hopefully you learned something or this helped you with your install. Yeah, peace. Bye.